So I got into the mood to rewatch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse for the first time in a while. The movie is not only the best Spider-Man movie of all time, and my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time, but also a comfort movie for me. It's been a rough year. A really rough year. So I want to take the time to gush about it for however long this video turns out to be. If you've been living under a rock for the past 4 years, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a 2018 animated movie by the creative duos of Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and like a whole list of other people that should really get all the praises. Based on the Spider-Man comic storyline The Spider-Verse by Dan Slott, Into the Spider-Verse features the big screen appearance of Spider-Gwen, Spider-Noir, Penny Parker, and her robot Spider and Spider-Ham, and of course, Miles Morales. Characters that most non-comic book readers didn't really know about, unless you either played Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions and or followed the movement to get Donald Glover to play Spider-Man in a live-action Spider-Man movie. Which, hey, he played Miles in an animated show for an episode and played his uncle in Spider-Man Homecoming. So that happened, but I'm getting a bit into the weeds. Let's circle back around to the comics. The character of Spider-Man has been tied to the idea of the multiverse for a long time now. Outside the old What If comics Marvel used to do, the old web slinger has had multiple encounters with other Spider people in multiple mediums. The 90s cartoon, the video game I talked about earlier, and then the comics the movie takes its name from. Now, the comic is wildly different from the movie. The comic is more of a Peter Parker story than a Miles Morales one. The comic follows a group of different Spider-Man and women from across the multiverse to stop a villain named Morlun and his family, who feed off the life forces of people with similar, if not the same powers to Peter's across the multiverse. Think the villains from Doctor Sleep. When it comes to this movie, I could gush about every single detail about it, the comic book aesthetics, to the word bubbles and Kirby dots, casting choices with everyone. Samik Moore as Miles, Jake Johnson as Peter B. Parker, Chris Pine as Peter Parker, Haley Seinfeld as Spider-Gwen, Nick Cage, John Mulaney, Kimiko Glenn as Noir, Ham, and Penny respectively, all did fantastic jobs. All the little references and details coming from the comics. Everything about this movie is so damn good. The soundtrack to the animation technique, everything is so damn good. So, why do I like this movie so much? Well, it's because it's relatable. And that's all because of Miles. See, Spider-Man as a concept was created with the idea of having relatable issues in mind. Peter was just a kid from Queens who lived with his elderly uncle and aunt. He was bullied, he was smart, he tried his best to balance school, work, a social life, and being a hero. And he was, and still is, good at being relatable. But there has been this strange disconnect at times with Peter and his relatable struggles, and myself as a fan of him and his adventures. But with Miles, especially in this movie, I relate to everything. I relate to having to be the new kid at school. I relate to how his mom sends him off to school, and how his dad will embarrass him in front of said school.
Dad, are you serious?
I want to hear it.
You want to hear me
I
say
love
it?
you, Dad.
You're dropping me off out of school?
I love you, Dad.
Look at this place.
Dad, I love you.
Dad, I love you.
I relate to the music he and his uncle listens to. I relate to Miles more than I can relate to Peter. See, when we first meet Miles in the movie, he was on his way to a new school. A school that he doesn't want to be at. So much so that he purposely fails a test to try to get kicked out. He doesn't think he's good enough for the school, and is struggling to keep up with classes. Then, later on when he gets his powers and Spider-Man entrusts him to finish what he started, he now has to live up to the expectations of probably one of the greatest heroes on Earth. Living up to expectations is hard enough. Living up to expectation towards your parents, especially when you look like him, is a lot harder. living up to the expectations of a real hero, no, real heroes, in a span of a couple of days? Damn near impossible. Like, I don't blame him for being angry and frustrated near the end of the movie. He's been knocked down and fallen all movie long, and hearing that he could do it if he just applied himself doesn't help the situation at all. I've been in Miles' shoes. Now, I haven't had the responsibility of the entire world thrusted onto my shoulders, but having to live up to my parents' expectations and feeling like I fall short every time is a common feeling. My parents did push me to do well in school, to get jobs, and sometimes balance both or drop this job to focus on school and whatnot. But this everlasting feeling of not doing good enough or that I haven't done enough have been following me since the start of college. And thinking that I failed to reach my parents' expectations or just downright disappointed them has caused some of my lowest lows. I've been where Miles is at. Probably a lot of people has been where Miles was at. I think about the scene where he's at his lowest a lot. When he wanted to still go and help his friends stop the Kingpin instead of going. He gets tied up and left in his room, sitting there feeling like more of a failure than ever before. Then his dad gave him this speech.
That to happen to us, okay? Look, I know I don't always do what you need me to do or say what you need me to say, but I see this spark in you. It's amazing. It's why I push you, but it's yours. Whatever you choose to do with it, you'll be great.
I remember that much like Miles' dad pushes him to do great, so does my parents, that they are proud of me and will be with whatever I decide to do with my life. So when I saw Miles finally take that leap of faith, when I saw him get back up after getting his butt kicked by a walking refrigerator, when I saw him be the greatest version of himself, I saw myself taking that leap of faith, getting back up when life hits harder than Kingpin. I see myself being the greatest version of myself. Thank you guys so much for watching this and getting to the end of the video. Sorry it took so long between learning a new editing software, streaming and making Let's Plays on the gaming channel, and life. The last thing I really wanted to do is be emotional and open on the internet. I've seen how scary it is on here. But I finished it. Hopefully I can make something more fun and entertaining for the next time. And if you like to see that, make sure you like and subscribe and do all the normal stuff every YouTuber tells you. Follow me on the socials, and I'll see you in the next one.